What's good with y'all? What's good with y'all? Top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning. Top of the morning. Yes, sir. Snax on Sports. We live. Live and direct. You dig? Top of the morning, top of the morning. What's good with y'all, gang? What y'all boys on? And girls. Try to give it a couple more minutes, see if anybody gonna tap into this thing. If not, I'm gonna just have to go live and I'm gonna have to just start the show regardless of who up in this thing. Even if it ain't nobody up in this thing, I got to do what I got to do, man. You did. Top of it. Top of it. Top of it. Give it 1 or 2 more minutes. Ain't nobody up in this thing yet. I know it's early. Folks is at work. Folks is at school. Folks are starting their day. At least if you're on the West Coast like me, you is. If you're on the East Coast, you kind of already well within your day. Since they 3 hours ahead of us. You know what I mean? Since they 3 hours ahead of us. 8:47 where I'm at. On the East Coast, it's 11:47. So, but top of it, fam. Top of the morning. Snax on Sports. I'm back with another one. It's gonna kind of be like a little rush job on this one because I wanted to. I was gonna go live this afternoon, right? But I was supposed to go live last night, you know what I mean, for the week 3 recap, but I catted off and went to my storage and was there a little bit too late and ended up basically kind of getting stuck up in there, you know what I'm saying, because after a certain time, it's a long story, bro. I end up having to go back and forth up, you know what I mean? I had to go up to my store, because my storage, where my storage is at, is upstairs. You know what I'm saying? So I had to go upstairs, you know. I had to go back and forth from upstairs, downstairs, upstairs, downstairs, taking stuff back and forth from my storage unit to my car. And at 10 o'clock, I didn't know this, at 10 p.m. Everything stops working. The gate still works so you can get out, but the elevator and all that stops working because you're supposed to be out of there by 10 p.m. So, but I was there kind of late, you know what I'm saying? And this had never happened to me before, right? I had been there late before, but as far as me going downstairs to my car and then trying to get back up after 10 p.m. that had never happened. So basically, I was done doing what I was doing, right? But I had to take some stuff from my unit to my car, right? And then I had to take something that was in my car, my son's car seat, back up to my storage unit. So, but once I did that, I left my keys upstairs because my key to unlock my storage is on like my main key ring. They got, my car keys on it and all that. So my thing was to take the stuff down to the car, you know what I'm saying? Load the car up, then come back upstairs, you know what I'm saying? And bring my son's car seat to my storage, and then lock up, and then be out. But since I went downstairs after 10 p.m., after the whole building basically shut down, once I went downstairs and tried to go back up on the elevator wasn't working. You know what I'm saying? So I basically was stuck there all night because my keys was still upstairs, you know what I'm saying, in my unit. So I was stuck there, and I couldn't go live as well because I had left my phone up there too. You know what I'm saying? So it was just all bad. So I'm just saying all that to say I was supposed to go live last night. You feel me? But I wasn't able to do that. So then I had to get up this morning and, you know what I mean, get some work in and stuff like that. So I was gonna do it this afternoon, but then I know I'm gonna be busy this afternoon too. So I'm like, man, let me just do it right now. So I just decided to go live right now. But it's 8:51 where I'm at. I'm gonna probably have to shut this live down no later than 10. So this ain't gonna be usually I'll be live for 2-3 hours straight, you know what I'm saying, just so I can get all my little, get all my stuff out. But this live is gonna be about an hour, you know what I'm saying, if that. But I wanted to do it before week 4 starts tonight. You know what I mean? It's kind of don't make no sense to do a week 3 recap and week 4 then started. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to knock this out real quick. So let's get into it, man. To recap some of the action from last week. You did. Let me see here. Turn on this good interwebs. You understand me? And it's been a while since I went live this early. I have been live this early before, but usually I'm late night with it. You dig? Either late night or sometime in the afternoon. But it's cool to go live right now to kind of see what the algorithms is doing, you know what I mean, at this time of morning. You feel me? But most of my traffic, definitely be sliding through at nighttime. So usually, like I said, I know everybody at work and school and, you know what I mean, out and about doing their thing. You feel me? So usually by this point I would already have at least 15-20 people up in here. I see a few of y'all going out, coming in, going out, coming in, going out. It's all good, ain't no thing. You feel me? But yeah, let's get into it, man. I'm just pulling up the schedule from last week. There's a little bit too much noise going on out there. Pulling up the schedule from last week so I can and these people gonna be calling me today. The storage people gonna be calling me today trying to figure out why I was still there and all that. You know what I mean? Hopefully they don't try to, hold that against me or whatever. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I just got stuck up in there. I wasn't trying to do it. It just, you know what I mean? I just had a mishap. But all right, here we go. So week 3, 2025 NFL season started off last Thursday. We had the Bills against the Dolphins. You understand me? The Bills got the victory over the Dolphins 31-21. Let me kind of look at the stats so I can kind of remember what happened. It was a close game throughout the first half, throughout the whole game, really. You know what I'm saying? And then that last quarter is when the Bills pulled away, or the second half. But Yeah, man, the Dolphins 0-3, and I've been saying this whole year so far that um, what's his name? Mike McDaniels. I think that's the coach of the Miami Dolphins. Man, he ain't gonna make it through. He ain't gonna make it through the whole season. He just not. You know what I'm saying? He just not, because and it all started out with the week 1 loss to the Colts. You feel me? Because they got Daniel Jones running the show, and the Colts are a team that's perceived to be not so good. Now, 3 weeks into the season, we see that the Colts actually do got a little action. You know what I'm saying? It's still early in the season. You know what I mean? So it's time for them it's still enough time for them to crash and burn, and really show themselves to be who we all thought they were. It's still time for that to happen. But so far this season, the Colts, they're showing themselves to be one of the best teams in the league right now. And Daniel Jones is just absolutely balling out. He's just absolutely balling out. You understand me? So that week 1 loss that the Dolphins took to the Colts, if we kind of look back on it now, even though a loss is a loss, it may not be so bad of a loss if the Colts keep playing how they playing right now, and they end up, being a playoff team this year. You know what I'm saying? Or a team that, that ends up having a great year. You know what I'm saying? We may look back on the Dolphins loss to the Colts and be like, well, yeah, you know what I mean? The beginning of the season, week 1, we didn't think the Colts was that good. So, you know what I mean? They the Dolphins took that loss, and it looked like a bad loss at the time. But like I said, if the Colts keep doing what they're doing, it may not be the Dolphins losing to the Colts week 1 may not be as bad of a loss as we originally thought. You feel me? But nonetheless, the Dolphins are a team that are perceived to be maybe not like a Super Bowl contender, but they're supposed to be a good team. You know what I'm saying? At least an above average team. You know what I mean? And they set that precedent a few years back, a year or 2 back, when Mike McDaniels first got there a couple years ago. And they had this high-powered offense. You know what I'm saying? That was, I think ain't the Dolphins the team that put up 70 points against the Broncos a couple years ago? You know what I'm saying? It may even been last year, but either last year or the year before. And they was just, they had a stretch there for a year or so where they was just ripping and running up and down the field. You know what I'm saying? Big plays, monster plays, you know what I'm saying? Big scoring outputs and all that. So that's kind of the precedent that they've set, and we kind of expect that from the Dolphins now. You feel me? But with them being 0-3, it's not a good start. It's not a good look. And Mike McDaniels is a coach. I believe that's his name. My fault if that's not his name. But Mike McDaniels, the coach of the Miami Dolphins, is a coach that is not going to be the coach of the Miami Dolphins for very much longer if this continues. It just ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? And I've been saying this. I started out saying this in week 1 after they lost to the Colts, because even last year, you know what I'm saying, they had a so-so year or whatever, and I just look at it, and it just feels like Mike McDaniels is the type of coach that don't, like I said, I'm not there, I don't know, but he looks and feels like a coach that doesn't have, if they not winning, he don't have a whole bunch of respect from the team. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he looked like a young kid. You know what I'm saying? He's very soft spoken. You know what I'm saying? You know, kind of weird when you hear him talk, and he just don't come across as having the type of persona that's like of a head coach. You know what I mean? Somebody that the team is going to ultimately adhere to and just respect like that. You feel me? Um, no, I see you, my man, sir. Hey, off top, you love Muhammad. Salute to you. Uh, but everybody's welcome. So if that's what you want to do, just be spamming in the chat, talk about you love Muhammad, do your thing. I ain't mad at you. But so yeah, that's my thing with the Dolphins. The Bills, you know, the Bills are Billsing. You understand me? They doing Bills things, 3-0. You know what I mean? You got one of the top 2 or 3 coaches in the league, quarterbacks in the league. You know what I mean? Some people might say he's the best now. Some people, you know, some people might put him number 2. Some people might put him number 3. You know, I just say he's one of the top 2 or 3 for sure. You know what I'm saying? He won the MVP last year. You know, so, but let me see here. Tua went 22 of 34, 146 yards. Completion percentage was solid, but didn't have a whole bunch of yards. Had 2 touchdowns, an interception. You know, the running back, Acne or Achne or Akane or whatever his name is, he had a solid run day, 12 attempts, 12 carries, 62 yards, which comes out to equaling about 5 yards a carry. Tyreek Hill had a touchdown, 5 catches, 49 yards. Not the typical Tyreek Hill game that we looking for. Jalen Waddle, the same thing, 5 catches, 39 yards. Did have a touchdown, but you know, 5 catches for 39 yards. That's not the typical game that we looking for. You know what I mean? They supposed to be like a high-powered, you know what I mean? They supposed to be souped up. You know what I mean? They got 2 of the fastest receivers in the league, Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Man, sir said where I'm from. I'm from that Yay area. You know what I'm talking about? Yay area, California. Let's get it. East Palo Alto, California to be exact. You did. Right there by Facebook, right there by Stanford. You feel me? That's where I'm from. So yeah, you know, let me look at the Bills stats before I move on to the next game. You know what I mean? Josh Allen did Josh Allen things, 22 of 28, 213 yards, completion percentage of 78, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. So, you know, Josh Allen is just, hey, he doing his thing. You know, their running back, Cook, 19 carries, 108 yards, a touchdown. So, you know, average of 5 yards per carry. They did their thing. You know what I'm saying? Receivers, you know, he spread the ball around. You know, some of these players, I don't even know who the hell they is. D. Kincaid, 5 receptions, whoever that is, 5 receptions, 66 yards, a touchdown. Shakir, 4 catches, 45 yards. I don't know who these receivers is. You know what I mean? It used to be a time where, you know, I could tell you, it used to be a time where you knew who every receiver and running back for every team was. Now that's just not the case. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't be knowing who these running backs or these receivers is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never heard of them. You feel me? But yeah, so I mean, that's basically it on that game. You know what I mean? A solid game throughout. The Bills didn't blow out the Dolphins or nothing like that, but you feel me? they did what they had to do to get the win, and that's what it is. All right. For the sake of me having to kind of like rush through this live, I'm gonna just go to the next game. You dig? Let's see here. All right, the next game was the Panthers straight up. You know what I mean? Straight up pimp slapped the Carolina the Carolina Panthers straight up pimp slapped the Atlanta Falcons. By a final score of 30-0. Yeah, they did that. The Falcons, their quarterback, what's his name? The young boy. Let me check it out. Penix, Michael Penix. Yeah, he threw a few pick sixes, and he was 18-36, 172 yards. That ain't with a completion percentage of 50%. That ain't gonna get it. No touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and I know he threw at least 1 pick six. I believe he threw 2 though. You feel me? And so yeah, he played god awful. And so Michael Penix is a player that, and he's an older rookie because, you know what I mean? I think he either redshirted a few years in college or whatever. So he like a 25 or 26, you know. Well, he's not a rookie anymore, but I'm saying he was an older rookie last year. I think he was like 24, 25 last year. Now he's 26 or something like that. So, I mean, it's still young. He's still a young player. But usually a player of his age is usually in about their 3rd or 4th year. You know what I'm saying? At this time. Sometime maybe even their 5th year. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Michael Penix, I never looked at him as the, you know, he can prove me wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'll be happy for a player to prove me wrong. But I never looked at him like he was going to be a player that was going to come in and like, you know, like have some type of great impact or be some type of game changer or whatever. He just don't look like the type of quarterback, you know, that is going to be able to excel like that. Like I said, I can be proven wrong. I have no issue or problem if I am, you know, to be proven wrong. But, you know, his mechanics, you know what I'm saying? The way he, you know what I mean? Just the way he, you know, his kind of like unorthodox way of, you know, throwing the ball. He's a lefty, you know what I mean? I never looked at him as JJEB22. What's good with it, man? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, right on. Yeah, I never looked at Michael Penix as a player that you know, was going to excel in the NFL game. I never looked at it. You feel me? Sizzle, what's going on? My boy in the building. You understand me? This is gonna be a quick one, Sizzle, because I was supposed to go live last night, bro. And I ended up not being able to go live because some BS happened and I just wasn't able to do it. You feel me? So I was gonna go live a little later on today, but then I'm gonna be busy later on, and it's probably gonna push me to have to either go live tonight, but by that time, week 4 would have already been started. So I said, man, I just got to go live early this morning. You feel me? So, but I'm just giving my little recap. So this live is gonna kind of be like a little rush job. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna probably have to end at about 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock my time. It's 9:09 right now, so I'm gonna go to about 10, and then I gotta end it because I gotta bust some moves. But yeah, I just wanted to give my recap, get the week 3 recap out the way. You feel me? Before week 4 start today. But yeah. So, but yeah. what's his name? Bijan Robinson had a solid game. 13 attempts, 72 yards. But yeah, the Atlanta, to me, like I said, I know they're gonna keep it going with. I know they're gonna keep it going with Michael Penix, obviously, because that's their quarterback for right now. But I don't see them. They probably gonna be in the hunt for another quarterback here, over the next year or two. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, I'll be happy to be proven wrong, but I don't think Michael Penix is the answer. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. That's just me. And then, so on the Panthers side, Bryce Young, he played well enough. You know what I'm saying? Stats wise, his stats don't jump off the page. You feel me? 16 for 24, 66% completion percentage. That's solid. But he only threw for 121 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Hubbard, 17 carries for 73 yards for a 4-yard a carry average. You know what I mean? So that kind of carried the team. I'm trying to see where did their okay. So Bryce Young did have a touchdown. It just didn't come through the air. You know what I mean? His touchdown came on the ground. So he ran the ball. He ran for a touchdown. So okay. So he did have a touchdown. And then they had another running back that scored a touchdown as well. I'm trying to think like I said, Michael Penix threw 2 pick sixes. So you feel me? That's where, or did he throw 2? Or I know he had 2 interceptions, but no, I think he only had 1 pick six, but he did throw 2 interceptions. And one of them was a pick six. So that's where because I'm trying to look to see where their scoring came from. You feel me? I see 2 touchdowns from the offense. You know what I'm saying? Both on the ground. So that's 14 points right there. Then they had a defensive touchdown, so that's 21. And then they probably scored the other, because they scored 30 points. So then the other 9 points probably came from field goals. So, but yeah, Michael Penix, horrible quarterback play is the reason why Atlanta got blew out, straight up. Don Hector said, how did this affect LeBron's legacy? I don't know what you're talking about, big dog. You feel me? We ain't on LeBron right now. But yeah, so that's what happened with that. You feel me? Like I said, Michael Penix had a horrible game, and Bryce Young played well enough. You know what I mean? And the Carolina Panthers defense played well, so that was the result of that game. But it was basically lopsided because, you know what I'm saying, Michael Penix, you know what I mean, played like straight Tridash, man. You feel me? Straight Tridash, straight butt cheeks, man. All right, next game. We had the Cleveland Browns beat the Green Bay Packers by a score of 13-10. So this was not a game that I watched, but let me see here. This is not a game that I watched. However, the Cleveland Browns defense is showing themselves to be extremely stout. And the thing about this game right here is that coming into it, hey, they was just penciling the Green Bay Packers into the Super Bowl. Hey, the Packers, they finna be at that thing. You know what I'm talking about? And this just shows you right here, bro. It's any given Sunday. You feel me? Any given Sunday. You never know. So look at the stats right here. Jordan Love was 18 to 25, 183 yards, 72 completion percentage. The completion percentage is solid. You know what I mean? He had an okay game, a touchdown, an interception. He was sacked 5 times, though. So that tells you the Cleveland Browns defense is getting after it. I mean, they just straight getting after it, fam. You understand me? If they can get any type of play from the quarterback position, they would be a solid team. Like, straight up. You feel me? So, let me see. Josh Jacobs, 16 carries, 30 yards. He didn't do nothing on the ground. They shut down their running game. You know what I mean? Contained the passing game. You know, Golden, 4 catches, 52 yards. You know what I mean? Fitzpatrick had a touchdown. Josh Jacobs out the backfield had 5 catches for 44 yards. But this game right here is all about the defense for the Cleveland Browns. I'm trying to look at Michael Parsons. What did Michael Parsons do? Nothing. Nothing. You feel me? Like always, they just. I'm sorry, bro. Like, if I'm gonna pay you all of this money, bro, that this boy wanted, and this is all I was saying about Michael Parsons before the season started, when I did those few episodes on Michael Parsons and his contract situation and the situation with the Cowboys. My thing is like, bro, like, I'm not saying he's not a great player. He is a great player, okay? But trying to compare him to Lawrence Taylor, he ain't no Lawrence Taylor, bro. He ain't nowhere near no Lawrence Taylor. I understand his first 4 years, each year he's had 12 or more sacks. That's great. But my thing is, I never seen him having so much of an impact that he's worth being the highest paid defensive player in the league. Furthermore, the highest paid defensive player of all time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't see that. He's a great pass rusher. He's not good against the run. But he can get to the quarterback, but he doesn't always get to the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And then their job is not helping ranks on the preview. And then he doesn't his two what you call it? His 2 playoff games that he's had in his, career. No, he's played in more. He's more than 2 playoff games, but I think it's been 2 out of the 4 seasons that he was with the Cowboys. They was in the playoffs. But Michael Parsons has never shown up and been a defensive game wrecker in the big games, in the games that mattered most. You feel me? He's never had that type of impact. A lot of his sacks come in regular season games, which is, I mean, that's okay. But a lot of his sacks have come, at the end of games when the games have already been decided, and they just, they blitzing the quarterback, rushing the quarterback, just trying to, they're able to tee off on the quarterback, because of the outcome of the game has already been decided, type shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not saying that to take away from he is a great, he is an elite pass rusher. It's just that he's not elite enough for me to equal out to him being like the highest paid defensive player in the league. I just don't see that. He ain't better than Myles Garrett. He ain't better than JJ Watt. You feel me? And there's probably a couple other defensive line players and or linebackers, you know what I'm saying, that he's not better than. He's up there, but it's a few players that I would take before him. And it's too many times in his career where he has a stat line like this. 2 tackles. You know what I'm saying? How many sacks did he have? None. Like if I'm paying you upwards, you know, like I think he's getting over $40 million a year, bro. You know what I'm saying? This man getting paid over $40 million a year. If I'm gonna be paying you over $40 million a year, bro, like I need at least 1 sack a game. Y'all want to talk about he the new Lawrence Taylor? Ain't no damn no. He ain't nowhere near Lawrence Taylor, bro. Manny K said he made the Packers defense better in Dallas. Definitely is worse off now. I agree with that. I'm just saying he ain't. So, like I said, you worth whatever a team pays you. So whatever a team pays you, that's your worth. You know what I'm saying? I'll give him that. But I don't legitimately think he's worth that, bro. Like, if I'm paying you that, you need to be a straight game wrecker. Like, every game, the quarterback need to feel you, bro. Like, need to feel your pressure. You need to be at least a sack a game, to where at the end of the year you got 17 or more sacks. Like, I just need that. Like, straight up. You feel me? Dallas has 0 run stopping and 0 pass rush right now. Micah Parsons never helped with their run stopping. He's not a good run stopper. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he's never been that. I agree with you on their defense is worse, and their pass rush is worse. So yeah, they're feeling the effects of that. I give you that. Because like I said, I never said that he wasn't a great player. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying I think he's a little bit overrated as far as his greatness. That don't mean he's not great. I just don't think he's as great as the perception is. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. You feel me? I've seen him play a lot in his career. He don't never show up in big games. You know what I'm saying? That's when you need your pass rusher to show up the most and be a game record the most in the playoffs when we need you to wreak havoc. You know what I'm saying? On the opponent's quarterback. You know what I'm saying? We need to see you, dog. You know what I'm saying? Where you at? You feel me? That's all I'm saying. Manny K said, I see him having an extraordinary impact on the Packers. There are heavy Super Bowl contenders with him, and Dallas isn't a contender at all. No, Dallas is not a contender. As far as the Packers being a heavy Super Bowl contender, I don't know about that. They're going to be a playoff team, but that's my point of what I'm saying about this game right here. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to win every game that you play. It's every given Sunday. But all I'm saying is, coming into this game against the Cleveland Browns, with the way that the Packers have been looking, you know, everybody was just like what you saying right now. Oh, pencil them into the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we see that there's a way to stop them. You know what I mean? They only put up 10 points. You know what I'm saying? And I understand the Cleveland Browns do have a great defense. That's one of the, if not the best defense in the league, one of the top defenses in the league. And they have, if not the best defensive player in the league in Myles Garrett, they got one of the top 2 or 3 defensive players in the league. So I give you that. But still, if you're going to be a Super Bowl contender, you got to be able to find a way to overcome that somewhat, at least score more than 10 points. That ain't nothing but a touchdown and a field goal. You feel me? In 4 quarters, you was only able to come up with 10 points. You know what I'm saying? So that tells me right there that there's a formula for stopping them. I'm not just going to pencil the Green Bay Packers into the Super Bowl just because they got Micah Parsons. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're a good team. They're a great team. Their defense is better. Let's let the season play out a little bit, though, and let's see how it goes. Because, you know, people jump out to these, 2-0 season records and they have a few good games at the beginning of the season, and then everybody want to act like it's going to go like that for the remainder of the season. I don't see the Packers being that. Like I said, I do see them being a good team. I do see them making the playoffs this year, but I need to see how it goes the remainder of the season. Yeah, straight up. You know what I mean? Like they got to they just getting Michael Parsons don't prove to me that you just gonna pencil them into the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And Jordan Love has a tendency to he's a great young quarterback. You know what I mean? A solid replacement after Aaron Rodgers. These people that went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the probability of that? But Jordan Love do got a little bit of a tendency every here and there to, you know what I mean, throw the ball to the other team. So I'm just saying, you know what I mean? We got to see how this play out. You dig? With Parsons, maybe Dallas isn't still a contender, so it makes more sense for him on the Packers are a more complete team. All that is true, bro. All that is true. It's true. I agree with everything you're saying. I'm just not penciling them in to the Super Bowl like they just gone. I'm just not. Like, you see what Detroit just did to the Baltimore Ravens? You know what I'm saying? On Monday night? Yeah. So Detroit gonna have something to say about it. My Niners are gonna have something to say about it. I know we banged up and we injured right now and all that, but you know what I'm saying? We 3-0. You know what I'm saying? And who else in the NFC? It's probably somebody that I'm not thinking about, but yeah, but okay, let me look at the Browns. Let me look at the Browns stats. Joey Flacco, 21 of 36, 142 yards, completion percentage of 58%. That ain't gonna get it. You understand? I mean, no touchdowns, an interception. He didn't play very well at all. But so this was a defensive win for the Cleveland Browns because the offense ain't do nothing. One of their running backs did. So I'm looking right here, Judkins or Judkins. Like I said, I don't know who these players is, bro. Like I said, it used to be a time where I could tell you every skilled position player, you know what I'm saying, as far as running backs and receivers on every team. Nowadays, I don't be knowing who these people is, man. I just don't know them. You feel me? But anyway, he went Q Judkins, 18 carries, 94 yards. 5 yards a carry, a touchdown. So he plays solid. So that's a formula. That's a great formula for winning right now. Play hellacious defense and run the ball. Like, that's a formula for winning right there. So that's the reason why they won this game. Receiving wise, nobody really did nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, and then let me see. Look at their defense. They have 5 sacks. So, you have one player, Schwessinger had a sack. Huntington had half a sack. Graham had another half a sack. M. Collins had a sack and a half. Myles Garrett had half a sack. So, I mean, they was getting after the quarterback. You know what I mean? They were just straight getting after it. So yeah, but yeah, that was a defensive win for the Browns. The Cleveland Browns defense is off the chain. You feel me? And if they can get any type of solid, consistent quarterback play, and I understand that was their first win of the season, so that win brings them to 1-2. But if they could get any type of solid quarterback play, then they are then they'll be a solid team. But they just don't, you know, Joe Flacco is over the hill, you know what I'm saying? So you know, I'm not looking at Joe Flacco he might have a solid game here or there, you know what I mean? He may be able to give you a solid game, you know, 1 out of every, you know, 3 games or something like that. But, you know, he's an older player now. And so he ain't going, you know, you can't count on him every game to play like the Joe Flacco of old when he was with the Ravens and they won the Super Bowl and all that. All right, next game, the Jaguars and Texans. The Jags beat the Texans by a score of 17-10. I've been saying this about the Houston Texans, and I've been saying this about the boy CJ, what's his name? I can't believe I'll be forgetting these players' names. I know the boy name. Now my internet is, I want to act like it's slowing up. Come on, man. Okay, here we go. CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud. I've been saying this about CJ Stroud the whole year. That to me, CJ Stroud got to be careful here because he burst onto the scene his rookie year and had a great rookie year, right? And then last year he had a solid year too. I would say a good year. His rookie year he had a great year. Last year he had a good year. The team made the playoffs. And they did their thing last year too. But the problem is that his rookie year has been his best year so far. Then last year, he still had a good year, but he kind of dropped off and tailed off a little bit, especially towards the end. And then now this year, the team is starting out 0-3. And so his trajectory is kind of going like this a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he's not a good quarterback. I'm just saying he needs to be careful here because if they continue to play like they've played so far and lose games and he continues to dip a little bit, like as I'm looking at his stats, he didn't have his stats don't look horrible for this for the game against the Jaguars, outside the fact that he threw 2 interceptions. But what he wants to be careful of and try to avoid is having this fall off and this drop off to where people will start to say, oh, he was a one-hit wonder. You feel me? He was a one-hit wonder. Like his rookie year was his best year. And if they continue to go like this, that's what people are gonna start saying. You feel me? Because like I said, he's tailing off. It's not a steep fall, you know what I mean? But it's kind of like he was dead right here his rookie year, but now he's kind of like starting to, you know what I mean? So they got to get some wins. You know what I'm saying? They got to get some wins, and he got to find a way to carry them to some wins. Otherwise, like I said, people gonna start to say, "Oh, he was just he's a one-hit wonder." You know what I'm saying? He wasn't. We thought he was like that, but he ain't really like that. You feel me? So, that's what it is when it come to that. So yeah, but but so he went. He threw, he was 25 of 38 for 204 yards. You know what I mean? So he threw over 200 yards passing. He had a completion percentage of 65. So that's solid. He did throw a touchdown, but he also threw 2 interceptions. You know what I'm saying? So, and they end up losing the game. Receiving wise, Collins had a good game, had a great game, 8 catches, 104 yards, and a touchdown. You feel me? They didn't do a whole bunch on the ground. Nick Chubb, 9 carries, 38 yards. So that's that. Let me look at the Jags. Trevor Lawrence was 20 of 40, 50% completion percentage. That ain't too hot, but he did throw for 222 yards, no touchdowns and interceptions. So Trevor Lawrence didn't play well. You know what I'm saying? He played okay, but he didn't play well. Some people would say going in this day and age, throwing for 20 yards. I mean, throwing for having a completion percentage of 50%. That's not even playing okay. You know what I mean? You got to in this day and age when all the offensive rules are geared towards the offense having success. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be able to complete more than 50% of your passes. You know what I'm saying? You got to damn near you got to at least be 60%. Really, you need to be 65 or higher. You know what I'm saying? Because they make it so easy for the quarterback. Donovan Ewing said the chatter all offseason was how bad the organization was fucking him with the O-line and run game. And now consequences of that are presenting themselves and people are blaming Stroud. It's an organizational issue. I don't know why they're just throwing their franchise guy to the wolves. Check out the Texans' run stats this year. It's abysmal. You probably right about that. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily disagree with that. You probably right about that. I'm just saying that, like he jumped on the scene, so he's supposed to be one of these quarterbacks that are like basically what Jaden Daniels did last year in his rookie year. That's basically what CJ Stroud did his rookie year, the year before. You know what I'm saying? And similar to CJ Stroud, Jaden Daniels came in this year as like as projected to be like an MVP candidate based off what he did his rookie year. You know what I'm saying? So he got to show improved this year as well. You know what I'm saying? But when they talk about you like that, you know what I'm saying? You gotta kind of like live up to that and kind of be able to put the team on your back. I understand what you're saying about the organization and all that. They do got a great coach and what's his name, DeMarco Farr. He came over there from us, the Niners. You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't disagree with that. I don't know. I'm not as knowledgeable about everything going on with the Houston Texans to be able to disagree with you with that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna just take your word for it. You know what I mean? And me myself, I'm not putting it all on CJ Stroud. You know what I'm saying? I'm not putting it all on CJ Stroud at all. It's just you know how I go, bro. The quarterbacks and head coaches, you know what I mean? They gonna get the majority of the credit, so they gonna get the majority of the blame. That's just the way it goes. It ain't always fair. It's just the way it goes. You know what I'm saying? Time said, B-Jada Snax, the chat, have a productive Thursday today. Stay consistent and healthy. Shout out to you, my bro. You do the same. So yeah, but I'm not putting it all on him. I'm just saying, hey, it is what it is, bro. You know what I mean? You got to play better. A little bit better. You know what I mean? Or at least you got to play to a point to where you able to, because hey man, NFL is wins and losses. What Unc Shay Sharp be saying on his menu at Club Shay Shay, you know what I mean? It's he served two things on the menu. L's and dubs, hot L's and hot dubs. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it boiled down to, bro. You know what I mean? It's like you just gotta find a way. You know what I mean? And like the Jacksonville Jaguars, they not a team that, I know it's just one game. It's a division matchup, so division matchups are always tough. But like they not a team that you can't beat. You know what I mean? So you got to find a way to. I'm just saying, hey, you got to figure out. You got to figure it out. You know what I mean? And they 0-3, so they're gonna get talked about negatively. It just is what it is. Time said you got to put it all on CJ Stroud. This is a quarterback league. Even though football is a team sport, we idolize Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. He needs to stay healthy. I agree with that too. You know what I'm saying? I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just is what it is. It's they get paid all this money, bro. Like the quarterback position takes up the quarterback position takes up so much of the team's salary cap, bro. That like, and I know that CJ Stroud hasn't gotten his big contract yet. You know what I'm saying? I believe he's still playing on his rookie contract, but still, you know what I mean? The quarterback position takes up their contracts take up so much of the team's salary cap, bro, that like, I mean, you just got to find a way. You got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Is Stephen A. Snitch can call Aaron Choke Rodgers a bad man, and the brother choked in 2 NFC championship games. He lost to Garoppolo. He lost to the old man, Tom Brady, to go. It's on the quarterback. On my mama. I agree. Yeah. I always felt like Aaron Rodgers got a pass for, you know, like I used to hate when I would always hear them say in comparison between him and Tom Brady, like they would always like say, well, he throws the ball, he has a prettier, he has a prettier throwing whatever motion or nobody throws the ball better than Aaron Rodgers, and he's the best quarterback in the league as far as his mechanics and actually being a thrower of the football. He's better than Tom Brady. I'm always like, bro, like, that don't matter. Who win? That's who matters. Who's winning all the Super Bowls? You feel me? So I agree with you on that. You know what I mean? And in a lot of those years, the Green Bay Packers was like the number 1 seed, winning 13 and 14 games, and then they would get to the playoffs and play against the Niners or some other team and stall out, just like you said, against Jimmy Garoppolo, and you know what I mean? Like, and a lot of times be at home in January in Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Niners won one of those playoff games. I think it was the 2021 season. It was, and the Niners are a West Coast team. You know what I mean? So they play in good weather the majority of the year. You feel me? So they had to go to Green Bay in the cold at Lambeau Field in January. You know what I'm saying? And they won the game. I think it was like 13-10 or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, they won the game. And I don't even believe that they even scored an offensive touchdown. Like, they won the game off of like a blocked punt recovery touchdown. You know what I'm saying? And Aaron Rodgers was like the MVP that year or some shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, come on, man. You can't have that, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? That type of stuff don't happen to Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? He may not win every game, but he don't just, you know what I mean? He don't just wet the bed like that. You feel me? Like, that just don't happen. You feel me? I compare like Aaron Rodgers to like LeBron James, and like Tom Brady to like Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant may not have won every game and won every championship, but he never just choked no shit away like how LeBron James has done many times in his career. You feel me? Donovan Ewing says, I could definitely see a team sending a few firsts for CJ if they're out on him at the end of the year. I don't know if they'll be out on him, but you know what I'm saying? If they is gonna have to, I agree with what you're saying, you know what I mean? In order to get CJ Stroud, you're gonna have to send a few first round picks. Brady definitely to go at winning playoff games, scoring less than 20. I mean, at the end of the day, it's about winning, you know what I mean? But like Tom Brady, like, has won all types of ways. So like there's there's nothing negative you can say about Tom Brady, like as far as playing the quarterback position and like winning. Like it's just he didn't show that he can win games. It don't matter. And see, the thing is, the difference with Tom Brady is even in those low scoring games, when the money is on the line and it's time and it's winning time late in the game, and it's time to have 1 or 2 drives to win the game, he does it every time. It's the same thing that happened in that 6th Super Bowl that they won. I think that was 2018 season when they beat the Rams in the Super Bowl. They won the Super Bowl, what? It was like 10-7 or 13-10 or something like that. Neither team could get nothing going offensively. But when it was time to win the game, okay, when it was time to win the game, Tom Brady right down the field to Gronkowski or whoever he needed to throw the ball to, Edelman or whatever, and they went and won the game, either whether it was scoring a touchdown or getting in field goal position for somebody for the kicker to kick a field goal and win the game. So Tom Brady has won in blowout fashion, close games, high scoring games, low scoring games. So like Tom Brady is no doubt the GOAT, and there's absolutely nothing you can say negative about him, unless if you want to hold on to the little cheating scandals or whatever. But like I said, that was more Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick was the one videotaping people's practices, and you know what I mean, and all that. Tom Brady had the little Deflategate little situation. But come on now, if you know anything about football, bro, the how much air is in the football, that ain't got nothing to do with it. It's just Tom Brady preferred for the football to be just a little bit on the deflated side. You know what I mean? He didn't like the football being, you know what I mean? He didn't like the PSI so high, you know what I mean, to where the ball is just so pumped up. He liked it to be a little bit lower, but that ain't got nothing to do with, you know what I mean? If you know the game of football, you know that had nothing to do with. Tom Brady won a couple more Super Bowls after Deflategate. So, you know what I mean? I don't want to hear nothing. That don't got nothing to do with nothing. Time said has no agendas, no narratives, probably has a favorite, but doesn't destroy other great players for his favorite player, like Stephen A. Snitch. Donovan Ewing, he definitely had the best defenses during their dynasty compared to, let me see. He definitely had the best defense during their dynasty compared to all other Hall of Fame quarterbacks in his era, but you can't take it away from Tom. You play who's in front of you. Definitely. I would say, so what I would say is the first 3 Super Bowls, they had, that's when the Patriots defenses were more on the elite side. Not that they weren't good those last 3 Super Bowls either, but like the Super Bowl that they lost to the Eagles in 2017. I mean, Tom Brady threw for the most yards any quarterback has ever thrown in a Super Bowl. He threw for over 500 yards, you know what I'm saying, and scored 33 points. They still lost. The defense gave up 40 points against Nick Foles. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. Like, in order to be a championship team and win all those Super Bowls, like it ain't going to just be one side of the ball. You have to have a good team. You know what I'm saying? Overall. So, so yeah, he has some good defenses, but I mean, that's what it takes in order to win the Super Bowl. It's very rare that you're going to have a team that wins the Super Bowl that has just a god-awful defense. Most teams that win the Super Bowl, and you can even go to the NBA with this, most of the time, maybe not 100% of the time, but the majority of the time, the team that wins the championship is a team that also has at least like a top 5 to 10 ranked defensive Like they're ranked somewhere in the top 5, or like they're one of the top 5 to 10 best defenses in the league. You know what I mean? So they're as far as percentile, they're one of the top 3rd best defenses in the league, if not the best, you know what I mean? Or one of the best, you know what I'm saying? So you can't win no championships and not have a good defense. You feel me? Tom Brady has 3 Hall of Fame careers. No doubt. No doubt. So, but yeah, CJ Stroud, I think he'll be all right. I'm just saying he got to be careful, you know what I mean? Because if they continue on like this, then if they continue on like this, then you know, they gonna start saying that he's a one-hit wonder. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. Okay, let me go to the next game. Because I'm running out of time here. I'm running out of time, big dog. What I may have to do is do a part 2 recap later on this afternoon. You know what I'm saying? Because I got somewhere to be at 11 o'clock. And so that means I got to leave in a few minutes. Let me see. What's the next game? The Vikings and the Bengals. Okay. The Vikings blew out the Bengals 48-10. Okay. We all know Joe Burrow is out basically for the remainder of the season. Joe Burrow is out for the remainder of the season, basically. You know what I mean? It's a possibility he could come back in December if they end up, if the Bengals can somehow find a way to stay afloat and maybe make the playoffs. You know what I mean? It's a possibility he could come back, but I mean, it ain't looking good for that. It ain't looking good. I know they rallied last week after he got hurt and they ended up getting the win, but it ain't looking good. 9957 9957. It ain't looking good. You dig? No thanks. Turn for a better experience. Your device will need to use location. High scanning. Darling said it should be on. Turn on. My bad. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna have to get up out of here in a minute. My bad, y'all. Let me go back to this. Turn my Wi-Fi back on so I can see this. Wi-Fi. Bam. 60 minutes. Never time out. Okay. So, what we got here? Diamond Ewing said, I'm just saying that Caleb was the only one who put up more than 140 yards on the Vikings D. Donovan Ewing says the Purple Boys on D are flying around this year. On my mama. Was that a Zoom? A notification? Nah. That's that was, I don't know what the hell that sound was, to be honest with you. Lamar Jackson better beat Kansas City this Sunday. Hey, you know, the crazy thing about that is, bro, this is the crazy thing about that, right? Both the Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens are both 1-2. So after this week, one of those teams are going to be 1-3. That's crazy. That's not a death sentence for the season at all. You know what I'm saying? But it's just crazy that after 4 weeks, one of those teams are going to be 1-3. You feel me? Give Jalen Hurts his props. The boys should be in the top 10 quarterbacks. To me, Jalen Hurts is top. To me, Jalen Hurts is top 5. I got him as the 5th best quarterback in the league. I don't know why people continue to not want to rank him highly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got Jalen Hurts as the best, as a top 5 quarterback at number 5. I got in no particular order, but I got Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Burrow, Josh Allen, and Jalen Hurts. Donovan Ewing say, I got him over Burrow low key. Yeah, I mean, I don't have an issue with that. I don't have him over Burrow, but I don't have an issue with that at all. You know what I'm saying? Because what Jalen Hurts has shown me is that he's a winner. People forget that even in the Super Bowl that they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs a few years back, he outplayed Patrick Mahomes in that Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And they barely lost by only like a field goal. You know what I'm saying? So Jalen Hurts plays big in big games. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want from your quarterback. You feel me? So, but yeah, let me look at these stats, because I hate it, bro, but I'm gonna have to end this live, bro, because I gotta bust a move, and I'm gonna come back in a couple hours, and because I'm not finished with the week 3 recap. Sometime before week 4 starts tonight, at 5:30, I'm gonna come back sometime this afternoon and do a part 2 and finish this out. But I'm gonna have to end this, bro, because I'm in San Jose, California right now, and I gotta drive to San Francisco. So that's like, and I gotta be there by 11 o'clock. It's gonna take me about 40 minutes to get there. So I need to leave an hour before I gotta be there. But let me see what the Vikings offense did. Okay, yeah, Carson Wentz. Because so JJ McCarthy, he's showing himself to be injury prone. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you missed your whole first year. Okay. Granted, okay, all right. You had a bad injury that you sustained in preseason, and it caused you to miss your whole rookie year last year. Okay, bet. And now this year you already hurt again. You know what I'm saying? So, that's not good. But nonetheless, Carson Wentz came to the rescue. 14 of 20, 173 yards, completion percentage of 70, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. So Carson Wentz played well. But really where they did a lot of their damages in the run game. Mason, 16 carries for 116 yards, 2 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? And he averaged 7 yards a carry. So so that's where they did their damage in the running game. Justin Jefferson, 5 catches, 75 yards. I didn't watch this game, so I don't know like the details around everything that happened. You dig? But yeah, I just know that the Vikings, played well overall. Let me look at their defense. What did their defense do? So the Vikings defense had 2 fumble recoveries. So that means the Bengals fumbled it at least twice. Let me look at the Bengals stats and see what they did. The Browning. So Browning played well after the game where Joe Burrow got hurt. Okay. And the game where Joe Burrow got hurt last week, he came in and played well after that. But a lot of time teams can do that. The game where your star player get hurt, for the remainder of that game, you kind of like rally, you know what I'm saying? And just to, and you find a way to come out with the win. You know what I'm saying? That happens a lot. But reality tends to set in that next game, and that's exactly what happened. So Browning, he didn't play well. You know what I'm saying? He had a solid completion percentage. He was 19 to 27. That's a completion percentage of 70%. But he only had 140 yards. He threw a touchdown, but he threw 2 interceptions. And their running game didn't do nothing. Jamar Chase had 5 catches, 50 yards. Nobody else really did anything receiving wise. Jamar Chase fumbled the ball. And 2 other players fumbled the ball. Or no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They had 5 players that fumbled the ball. Okay, and 3 of them were recovered by the Minnesota Vikings. That's the difference of the game right there. So that tells me right there, you're like, you guys turned the ball over 3 times. Well, and then no, they turned the ball over 5 times because they lost 3 fumbles, and then the quarterback Browning threw 2 interceptions. So that's the difference in the game right there. They fumbled the ball. They turned the ball over 5 times. Can't do that, bro. You just can't do that. That's a quick way to get blown out. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what happened. You don't have your star quarterback. You got to protect the ball, bro. Like you can't be fumbling the ball. You feel me? So that was the story of the game right there. The Cincinnati Bengals turnovers. You know what I'm saying? And that led to Minnesota having more possessions of the ball than what they should have. And they what's the word? They capitalized on those turnovers by turning those turnovers into points. So that's what happened right there. You feel me? But so that was that game. The Minnesota Vikings blew out the Cincinnati Bengals 48-10. And I'm gonna stop right there, bro. I gotta stop right there. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Because I want to finish this off so I can just be done with the recap. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta go bust this move. I got some money to go get, and I cannot miss out on this money. You feel me? So I'm gonna end it right there. Let me see where I'm at. How many more games do I have to recap? How many more games do I have to recap? I didn't recap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I still got another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So yeah, you feel me? I gotta recap another 11 games. So the bulk of this is gonna come once I jump back on live later on. So that's probably gonna, give me another hour. You feel me? But yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat time. Donovan Ewing, you know what I'm saying? Everybody that pulled up, my boy Sizzle up in here. You understand me? But yeah, salute to y'all. I'll be back in a couple hours though. So if y'all want to tap back in with me in a couple hours, I will be back for part 2 of the week 3 recap. Snacks on Sports. I'm gone.